Welcome back, horror fans. Pumpkin Claw here. Doctors are a profession associated with health, trust, and overall well-being. But what if these brilliant minds hold nefarious means and are either out to cause harm or their well-intended experiments get out of hand and cause fear and death? Here are my top 10 horror movie doctors. Number 10, Dr. Caligari from The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This 1920 German silent horror film tells the story of an insane hypnotist who uses a somnambulist or sleepwalker to commit murders. Not only could Dr. Caligari be considered one of the first horror doctors, but also one of the first horror antagonists altogether, since this film was made before horror was an established genre. If you enjoy going to the roots of movies and monsters in cinematic history, then definitely check out this classic silent film. Number 9, Dr. Giggles from Dr. Giggles. This early 90s classic stars Larry Drake from Darkman as the son of a mass-murdering physician who escapes from his designated mental institution to wreak havoc on the small town that revealed the horrific deeds of his father. This is a remainder of the 80s schlock horror, and even though it received a mixed bag of reviews, it was released for a short period in 2009 and can be a nice nostalgia throwback for cheap horror laughs. Number 8, Dr. Satan from House of a Thousand Corpses. Throughout the entire movie, we were teased with the enticing idea and concept of this fiendish monster, and our expectations were not left in vain when Denise escapes the Firefly family through the dark and wet crypt, only to come upon the waiting room of Macabre with a Dr. Satan complete with additional mechanical appendages operating on the exposed brain of Jerry. Sometimes a drawn-out reveal could be overexposed, or too little, far too late, but this finale was perfect for the torture our victim suffered, for at that moment, you kind of just hope for a quick end to her sadistically orchestrated abuse. Number 7, Dr. Carter Nix from Raising Cain. Anyone who is a fan of Dexter and enjoyed John Lithgow as the Trinity Killer needs to look up this movie and see where the gory character portrayal originated from. I can't go into too much detail to ruin the plot and ending, but let us just say the famous child psychologist has a dark side that runs red with blood of victims. Please check out this film. It is a lost art in crime horror genre. Number 6, Dr. Moreau from The Island of Dr. Moreau. Even though panned and many people hated Brando's portrayal as much as Val Kilmer's, David Thewlis is a treat on the screen. But despite the flaws, its creature effects I feel are amazing and brings a wonderfully horrific adaptation to the H.G. Wells inspired novel about a mad scientist attempting to raise animal kind to the societal level of man. But is it the savage nature of the beast or the savage nature of man that prevents his dream from coming true? This is for viewers themselves to decide. Number 5, Herbert West, Re-Animator. I guess technically West was a medical student, but in my eyes Re-Animator is a staple of the 80s horror and deserves to be on a list of horrific doctors. Loosely based on the Lovecraft short story of the same name about a creepy man's obsession with the reanimation of dead tissue. Full of campy acting, comedic lines, and some practical effects that based on preference could be considered amazing or downright cheesy. Number 4, Dr. Philip Chenard, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Dr. Chenard discovered that his obsession with the occult and infamous La Manche configuration led to unimaginable horror as he sees Leviathan's hell for itself. His body is transformed into a Cenobite. Here the variations of pain and pleasure are skewered, and Chenard is faced with horrors he desperately wanted to seek out. Number 3, Dr. Seth Brundle, The Fly. Possibly one of my favorite horror films of all time. No list about the downfall of science could be complete without the tragic story of Seth Brundle, a visionary ahead of his time and special effects way ahead of theirs. This Cronenberg masterpiece depicts the ever-dramatic downfall of love, science, and blind ambition. Some things may need to be left alone in the world of science, and Dr. Brundle definitely found this out the hard way. Number 2, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, Frankenstein. How could a list of horror doctors not include Dr. Frankenstein? His tragic story not only took his own life, but the life of many he loved. Like many fictional scientists that came after him, he discovered that there are some laws of nature that should not be tampered with, and Lady Death holds a grudge that is beyond comprehension. His mad escapade beyond the realm of death should be a lesson to those treading on the job of the Grim Reaper. Number 1. Dr. Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon. The world's most famous cannibal, Dr. Hannibal Lecter was the archetype who showed the world that madness comes in all intelligence levels. This brilliant mind was way ahead of his time, and his appetite way out of societal sanctions. Fun fact, it is said that fava beans and many red wines have properties of antioxidants in them that when mixed with some well-known antipsychotics could cause death. So in other words, Lecter was telling Clarice that he was not taking his medication. What are some of your favorite horror movie doctors? Comment in the section below, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay scared.